Hello, I'm Carolyn Pike. I'm the university's Data Protection Officer. The university handles a substantial amount of information about people, such as our students, our staff, and the individuals who take part in our research projects. It is important that these people have trust and confidence that the university will protect their privacy. Data protection law, in force from May 2018, places greater obligations on the university to make sure that the information we hold about people is kept securely and dealt with fairly and transparently. Compliance with these new rules is essential. Failure to comply would damage the university's good name and also mean that we receive a substantial fine from the data protection regulator, the Information Commissioner. This short film will highlight some of the main legal requirements. Further guidance and resources are available on the university's intranet, and most staff will be required to do additional training on Canvas. We need every member of the university to help keep us compliant. So thank you for watching.
Data protection law is based on a few key concepts. Firstly, it covers personal information, which is information or data that identifies an individual, such as their name, address, their email address, but it can also include a photo or someone's opinion about them in an email. Sensitive information, for example about a person's medical history, race or sexuality, is in a special category and additional safeguards apply. Secondly, data protection law controls how we can process data, from collection to disposal and everything in between. Before collecting new data, the university will need to record an assessment of the impact of collecting and using that data on a person's privacy, and, at the time the data is collected, the university must also provide people with details about our use of their data.
As a student, I want to be reassured that the university is using my personal information fairly.
Personal data about students, but also about staff, alumni and visitors to the university, is managed by us in accordance with the 6 data protection principles. We are required to process data fairly, lawfully and transparently. It must be collected and processed for specified purposes, and the information must be accurate, relevant and used only for the purpose for which it was collected. It should be updated, kept only for as long as necessary, and, most importantly, it must be kept securely. The university will tell you when we collect your personal data, how and why we're processing it.
As a member of staff here at the university, I process data about students and colleagues every day. What do I need to know about data protection to help me do my job? And how can I help the university comply with data protection law?
Firstly, it's important to make sure that you are only processing the information for the purpose for which it was collected and that you do so accurately. Adequate security measures are essential. For example, paper documents containing personal data should be kept in locked cabinets, and electronic data should be stored on university-approved systems. You should only put personal data on a personal computer or mobile device if it is absolutely necessary and if additional security measures have been taken. IT services can provide advice on suitable security. Please take care before emailing personal data. Check that the email is addressed to the right person and that the right document is attached. You need to be sure that both the person you're sending it to and the organisation they work for are entitled to receive that information. And if you work for another organisation as well as the university, you should only use your university email account for university business.
As a researcher, what do I need to know about the changes to data protection law?
A number of the changes will have an impact on research activity. For example, when planning a research project, a data protection impact assessment should be carried out. Also, the information given to research participants about how their data is used will need to be more detailed, and records must be kept showing how any data collected as part of the project is used. Additional resources and a Canvas training module are available for researchers.
What should I do if something goes wrong? What if I leave some document containing personal data on the train, or I lose a USB stick?
Things will go wrong from time to time, and unexpected things do happen. However, if personal data or equipment on which personal data is stored has been lost, stolen or disclosed to the wrong person by mistake, it is extremely important to act immediately. This must be reported to legal services and to your line manager. If university equipment is lost or stolen, you must also report this to IT services. A personal data breach could possibly result in a fine from the Information Commissioner's Office of up to tens of millions of pounds and serious reputational damage for the university. This is why compliance with data protection law is very important, and we need your help to make sure everyone's personal data is kept safe and used lawfully.